In this video, I will show you how to install a Laravel application and get it up and running using Laravel Sail with minimal plugin and libraries in our base OS, which is a fresh copy of Ubuntu 22. We'll just install Docker and Composer and some PHP plugins, which is needed to create new Laravel project. Before we start, I want to show you that our base OS is a fresh copy of Ubuntu 22 and there is nothing installed. Not even the needed updates are installed, which you will see later. So first let's see that there is no composer, there is no node, there is no npm. So in our base OS, there is nothing. Now let's open Laravel Sail website and see what the documentation says about it. So first Google it, go to Laravel Sail's official website, and as you can see it says it is a lightweight command line interface for interacting with Laravel default Docker development environment. Now let's open a new tab and see is there anything running in our local host. Sometimes Ubuntu's default Nginx keeps running, so we need to stop it using sudo service nginx stop. So in our case, it is not running. So let's go to Docker's official website and we'll see there how to install Docker in an Ubuntu 22 environment. So we will just follow the commands which they have provided here. So as you can see, the first command is what they are saying is that you need to uninstall old versions. But our is a fresh copy of Ubuntu, so we do not need to install anything. So let's proceed with the installation method. So here as you can see, first they have asked us to run the command that sudo apt get update. So we will first do that. Now the next command is to install the CA certificate. So let's run this command in our terminal. Just type Y when it asks for yes and you will be good to go. The next command talks about the official GPG keys. So we'll just copy this command and run it. The next command is to download the docker.gpg key. So you do not have to understand what these commands are doing. You just go through these one by one and at the end you will have Docker up and running in your system. As I go, I'm trying to explain what these commands are doing. But you will be totally fine if you do not understand and just follow through these commands. So let's sudo get update, apt-get update. Now we will run our final command to install Docker and Docker Compose plugin. So it will take some time to download the setup, and then it will install Docker and Docker Compose in your operating system. Now, to verify that Docker setup is running, let's run the hello world command and it will echo us, create a new container and echo us hello world. So as you can see, hello from Docker, we have got the message. So our Docker install is successful. Now, one important thing which we all forget is that we believe that, okay, this was all. But this is not all. You need to scroll all the way down and see that there are some post install steps remaining. If you don't do this, then you will get into some weird issues which gets created because we run Docker as a sudo user, which is not recommended. So if you follow these post install commands, without sudo, you will be able to run all the Docker commands. So just copy and paste it into your terminal and you will be good to go. So as you can see, after this, it is asking us to log out and log back in so that group members is re-evaluated. So let's do that. Because if I do docker ps, I will have issue. And as you can see, it is giving me a different kind of issue, but I'm thinking that this issue is because of the logout. So let's log out and log back in. Let's restore our browser session. Now let's verify that it our docker command without sudo running, which is not, and it is giving us a permission issue. So I have faced this issue previously also. So here all you need to do is change this file docker.sock permission to 666. So let's do that. Now if we run docker ps, it runs, and as you can see, there is no containers running. That is why it is empty. Now let me see if our hello world image is there. So for that we will type docker images, and here is our hello world image. But hello world image is there, container is not there. All this container and image concept you do not have to worry about. You just follow these commands. I knew about docker a little bit, that is why I'm verifying all this. So let's open a local host, and you see there is no Laravel application running. And next a step will be to install Composer. So let's install Composer in our operating system. So Composer you can install directly there. It might not be into its latest version from the Ubuntu repository, but that is fine. And as you can see, our Composer has got installed, and the composer.v command usually shows us what version of Composer which we are using, and here is our PHP version. So now let's create a new Laravel application. We will call it Sailor because we are creating a demo for Laravel Sail. You can name it anything. It doesn't mean anything. I just name it Sailor because it made sense to me. So as you know, Composer is a dependency manager, and it takes a bit of time to figure out what are the dependencies. In this case, there is an issue, I guess, because we have installed Composer, but all the PHP plugins which are needed by Laravel application is not there. PHP is there, but PHP plugins are not there. So it requires some other libraries which also needs to be installed, and that is why we are seeing this issue. So for that, I know what libraries and uh, plugins needed to be installed, but you can just Google it and install all those libraries. So it's not PHP-CLI. Mm, Let me search how to get all those libraries installed. I kind of know that yeah, so most of the time you kind of know because you cannot remember everything. Let's Google it. Which libraries are needed to be installed? So I think DigitalOcean is a good source of information. They have great tutorials and how to's about installation and setups. So let's just scroll down, and this is for PHP 7.4, but it should be the same. It should be the same. Because what the PHP versions change, and those libraries also maintain the compatibility with the newer versions. So, so before running this command, we will have to change it to PHP 8.1 because our PHP version, as you can see, is PHP 8.1. So let's change all of these to 8.1 from 7.4. Although this is a fairly very small number of libraries, which is giving me a doubt. But let's see if it works, because I don't know why DigitalOcean is mentioning only these libraries. But let's hope, fingers crossed. Yeah, because I usually forgot what libraries are needed, because one time when you install all these libraries in your operating system, next time you will just forget. These libraries are not constantly needed. You install it once in your operating system and then you forget that you install these libraries and plugins, because then you will be just creating new project and it will just work. So yeah, you see, I knew. So we need to install some other libraries also. So let me just quickly find out what are those other libraries. I have wrote some tutorials also about those libraries. So I will be just internally looking what are those libraries and writing it here in the terminal. So I will just maximize it. This is this is what we already did. This is not it. Let me try again. No, this is not working. Let me type it one by one. So the needed libraries are curl, and then we need ed, JSON, then a string, SQL, and the Same as. Okay, so it's still giving me an error. It is talking something about the PHP 8.1 JSON. I don't think we need it. Let's remove it completely because I have added all of these, but it should be good without the JSON library. Yes. So the installation is done, and now we will run compose and install, and it will work. So as you can see, we are inside our project root directory, and our project root directory is trailer. Now from here, our next step will be to like check that all those files have been generated. So this is not it. Yes, the .env file has been generated, and notice that there is no Docker compose file yet. So run php artisan sail install. So when we run this command, it will ask us for what to install with Sail as a database. So we will choose MySQL as 0 and press enter. And if we are lucky, PHP Artisan Sail will do everything for us. It will create the Docker Compose file and all the Docker containers, which you can see it is downloading and creating one by one. So in an ideal scenario, it should work and create new container and run it, and then we should be able to open localhost and see our Laravel application. So as you can see, it failed, and I could have easily edited out this part of the video and just shown you the running containers. But I want you to know that part of the installation is to fail. Like when you are doing initial setup and configuration of different set of libraries, you will be facing some problems. So you do not have to get afraid of it. You need to Google about it or try to make sense, like what might have caused this issue. So for this, I'm seeing that it previously tried to run command and it has failed. And but let's try installing few more times, because sometimes what happens is it tries to download some libraries from some URL, and those requests might fail, and then further onwards it will keep failing. So let's try one more time. So to run sail, you need type vendor bin sail up dash d. So dash d is to run in background mode, so that it do not get stuck. Or normally what happens is it doesn't run as a daemon or in the background. It will just the command will keep showing you the output, and if you press Ctrl C, it will stop. So that is why we use the dash D. So it failed again. So see, what happened was this is a fresh copy of Ubuntu, and we have not installed the update. So I kind of think that this is why this is failing. As you can see, it says that invalid for an hour, 3 hours, 49 minutes, and something like that. So to resolve it, we will have to upgrade, or let's say that we'll have to install all the latest libraries or updates which came for the Ubuntu. So what happens is, like, open source is a very big ecosystem, and people cannot track of every libraries that what update they have got and which library is compatible with what. So it is good practice to keep your operating system updated, because the people who are constantly working on their projects or their libraries, they expect that you have all the updates installed. And that is why every time when you will be running any software installed, they will ask you to run sudo apt get update, because they believe that you have the latest version. So let's try upgrading our operating system with all the latest updates. So for that, all you have to do is run sudo apt-get upgrade. Let's type it: sudo apt-get upgrade. I will be fast forwarding it after pressing yes, because it will take a lot of time, and I do not want to waste your time just for the sake of seeing this. But keep this in mind, that when you install all of these updates, upgrades, or update, whatever you call, it will take a bit of time. So you will have to patiently just wait for them to complete, and then we will proceed with our next step. So as you can see, all the updates have got installed. So let's run vendor bin sale update, and let's see if it succeeds this time. Which is should, because I am seeing all these libraries getting downloaded. So when you are doing initial setup, there might be some problems. Like in this case also, I don't know still it will work or not, but that is expected. And if it fails, the only thing is that if you have not followed the proper methods, um, it a chain of events get created. Like if I would have not ran Docker as a non-sudo user, that it might have created some files with sudo permission, which normal user or libraries would not have been get access to and would not able to execute it. So then it will fail, and it will fail with a weird issue that you will not even be able to figure out that now what is happening. But the actual reason is that Docker in the background is running as a sudo, and it is generating some permission files with special permissions which are not getting accessed. It has happened with me and happened with many people. I had to raise one PR also, which later on we came to the discussion and kind of figured out that this is because Docker is running as a sudo user. So as you can see, it is running from quite a bit of long time, and it is now installing PHP 8.2 mods. And now it is installing Composer, I guess. Downloading, all setting correct for Composer. And now Node.js 18. So it will download one by one all the libraries, but they will be inside a virtual OS, you can say, a small virtual OS. So we'll have to SSH into that OS to run and use all these libraries. It will not be installed in your host OS. So as you can see, it has completed. And let's try to open localhost, which will not work somehow. The reason is because somehow the Firefox is caching it. Let me try that again. No, it is running, but let's open a new tab, because all I can say is these are the random issues. Like you don't know, like everything is up and running. Even if you see the containers, as you can see, these are up and running and bound to the 80 port and 3306 port. So let's open a new tab and open localhost there. Yes, you see. So these are very weird issues. So you'll have to keep trying one or more time and try different ways. So let's generate the key. This is a very simple issue, and as you can see now in our local host, we are able to access the Laravel application. So next step. So now we are good, and our sail setup has complete. So the next step will be to like go inside the container and see what libraries are installed there. So for that you will have to run vendor bin shell shell. So this is the nomenclature: vendor bin shell and then the shell command. And if I run php artisan migrate from here, uh, so PHP artisan migrate, yeah. As you can see now, it has created. So it has successfully connected to my database, and tables has been created. So let's connect to our database, MySQL -h MySQL. So this is the configuration which they have provided. So you will have to enter -h MySQL, and the password is password. So all this you will be able to see into your .env file, which Sail replaces and make those entries when you install it. So you can see my tables are there, and now let's exit MySQL and exit shell. And now let's try to stop it, and it will just tear down. It will just quickly tear down. And if you will try to like run localhost, now you see it will not. It has stopped. So now let's start it back again, and you see how quickly it started. So now the sail up and the localhost is there. Let's go inside Sail one more time and see all the libraries and their versions. So the npm version is 9.4, node is 18, yarn is 1.22, composer is also there, and php we is saying 8.2. Our host OS has 8.1, but shell inside shell container we have 8.2. And all our files are here. So this was all about creating and running a new Laravel application in a fresh Ubuntu 22.04 installation. Let me know in the comment if it helped you, and give it a like if the answer is yes. And see you in the next one. Bye.